Hi there, my crafty friends, and if you're new to my channel, welcome aboard. I'm making a beautiful vintage winter maiden Christmas tree ornament today. I'll be adding a gorgeous rice paper picture, some air dry clay embellishments, and lots of sparkle. I'm super excited about this one because it turned out so great, and I hope you'll join me. So if you're ready, let's make a mess. I got this rice paper at decoupagenapkins.com. I'll link everything I use in the description box below. I'm separating the picture that I'm going to use from the rest of them with a water brush, and then tearing the paper so I don't have a sharp cut edge. When decoupaging, it's always best to tear the paper instead of cutting it. I'm using Mod Podge to glue the picture to the ornament. I sprayed some water on the back of the picture because it makes it easier to work with and also helps the glue absorb into the paper for a better hold. The ornament is a dome shape, so I need to add several tears around the picture so it'll lay flat. It gets a little sticky from the Mod Podge, so I'm smoothing it out with a piece of plastic to remove any wrinkles or air bubbles. I added another coat of Mod Podge on top of the picture and let it dry for a few hours. Once dry, I gave it a coat of matte spray sealer. I gave the inside of the top piece of the ornament 2 coats of white paint so the picture on the front would stand out. You always want to put white or cream paint behind the pictures that you decoupage, or the colors in your picture will look muddy. The paint is dry now, so it's time to glue both pieces together. I have a lot more Christmas videos coming up. Every week from now until Christmas. You'll want to subscribe so you don't miss any of them. And if you want to be notified every time I upload a new video, make sure you click that bell. I'm using the Das clay to make some 3D pieces for this ornament. This is a really nice mold and has some really pretty impressions in it. I'm brushing the mold with a little bit of cornstarch first so that the clay releases a little bit easier. Where are you watching from? I'd really love to hear from you. Let me know in the comments. I'm filming from Las Vegas, Nevada in the United States. While the clay is still wet, I'm gluing the pieces around the edge of the ornament and on the back. If you're enjoying this video, please let me know by hitting that like button. By doing so, you help my channel to grow and reach more people out there. That way I can continue to bring all of you great tutorials. And thank you for doing that. I'm adding a piece of thin gold cord for a hanger. I have 2 little clay flower pieces that I'm going to add to the top by the hanger. I'm going to mix up some paint to match the background color of the rice paper. I'm using a green, gray, and vintage white. I'm using a sponge to apply the paint. Since I sprayed the ornament with a matte finish earlier, there's a nice base to paint on. The paint is going on nice and smooth. I'm using a brush to get into the tight areas. I'm only painting the background and the back of the ornament. The clay embellishments I plan to paint gold. Where the background is lighter, I lightened the paint a little bit so it would match as well. I'm going to paint the clay embellishments with a champagne gold. Metallic paints can be a little translucent sometimes, so I'm painting them with a base coat of tan before I add the gold paint. I let the tan paint dry for about an hour and then moved on to the gold paint. I love champagne gold. It's not a yellowy gold. It's very subtle and more like a metallic beige. I'm going to do a crackle effect on the picture and the back of the ornament. I'm using Pentart fine line crackle varnish. Right now I'm putting step 1 on the front and the back of the ornament. It's white right now, but will dry clear. And once it's dry, it'll be time to add step number 2. Once step 1 was dry on the front and back of the ornament, I moved on to step number 2. This one is an amber color, so put it on in a thin coat. If it gets too heavy in one spot, you'll see the amber color. This is actually one of my favorite effects. I love the way it resembles old cracked porcelain. We're dry now, and there are some pretty nice cracks. If you don't have enough cracks, you can use a blow dryer for a few minutes and they'll pop up. I'm going to make all the cracks stand out by using some dark brown oil paint. I'm painting it on and then wiping it off. It'll stay in just the cracks and crevices, making any detail stand out. Since I just did a crackle varnish, moving forward, you cannot use anything but solvent-based products. Anything with a water base will ruin your crackle finish. I'm using the oil paint because it is solvent-based and it works quite well and is less expensive than the antiquing pastes. I'm being very careful not to get any of the brown oil paint on her face. I don't want any brown lines on that beautiful face of hers. I let the antiquing dry overnight and then sprayed front and back of the ornament with a gloss finish. You can use brush on if you prefer, but it needs to be solvent based. Then I let it dry for a few hours before moving on to the next step. Well, it wouldn't be me unless I added some sparkles, so here we go. Since I didn't use a bright gold paint, the gold glitter is way too yellow. So I added gold and silver together and got a perfect color. I'm using a gloss varnish as glue and adding the glitter here and there on the front and back of the ornament. And now I'm going to add some real gorgeousness. These are called diamond dots, and they're for diamond painting, but I just love them. I'm using the clear varnish and adding them in clumps here and there, just like I did the glitter. Since this is a very vintage looking ornament, it needs a very vintage looking bow. I cut a couple of lengths of satin ribbon, and I'm smearing them all over on both sides with the same paint that I used on the ornament. I'm using the green and some tan. After that, I'll scrunch them up and tie them in a little ball with some twine. Then I'll let them sit overnight to dry. Let me know in the comments what you think of this ornament. If you saw my angel ornament video, which one do you like better, the angel or the winter maiden? I love hearing from all of you and enjoy reading all your comments. The ribbons are dry and I've unwrapped them. I'm now tying them in a bow. They turned out nice, but didn't crinkle very much because the ribbon was real satin. I'm making a bow for the top of the ornament, but there will be two of them, one on each side. I'm starting with a sparkle organza and making a simple crossover bow. I'm gluing that on top of the vintage bow. I have some very thin gold wired ribbon that I'm making a very thin little bow for the center. And I'm curling the little streamers around my finger to make cute little curly cues. And then I'm gluing one of each of these on the top of each side of the ornament. I'm going to make a pretty fancy glittery bow for the bottom of this ornament, which pretty fancy and glittery seem to be my middle name right now. I'm using a glittery organza to start, and I'm just doing a simple crossover bow with that. I found these teardrop embellishments in the bridal department of Hobby Lobby, which I'm attaching to the bow. I have a length of rhinestone trim that I'm attaching to the bow as well, and it will hang at the bottom like fringe. I glued some of those teardrop stones to the top bow in the center, on the front and the back. I'm adding some gold beads to the hanger and tying it off at the top. And then I'll glue the bottom bow in place. I put together a playlist of all Christmas ornaments and other Christmas projects. Click the picture on the right to be taken directly to that playlist. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos.